Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about something that came up recently, and I thought it might be helpful to share that here on the podcast. So today I'm talking about photography and just some tips for getting the best photos for your furniture flips. Selling your flip furniture, high quality photos can make all the difference. I'm telling you, staging and photography, it really can make all the difference when it comes to attracting buyers and showcasing the hard work that you put into it. So no matter if you're posting on social media, your website, online marketplaces, Etsy, wherever you're trying to sell your pieces, good photography is going to make all the difference. So I'm just going to share some simple things here that maybe you're not thinking about or you're not doing. And then, you can try these things on your next flip and just see if it makes a big difference. So number one, clean and stage your furniture. I kind of already talked about that, but make sure that your piece is clean. So sometimes we will work a lot of times, if the weather is conducive, we will work in the garage. And so when I am painting in the garage, maybe I finished a piece and then let's just say it's a couple days before I get it out to stage it, there's going to be dust and stuff from the garage on that piece. So I always make sure that I clean it really well before I take any photos. And then you want to stage your piece of furniture. So it's just going to make the person picture the piece in their home or picture what they can do with the piece in their home or how they can decorate it. It just gives them an idea and just gives them that vision that just a random dresser sitting on a driveway may not do. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people, I shouldn't say some, a lot of people need that vision to make the purchase. Choosing the right background. So again, I wouldn't just stick your piece of furniture, in a driveway or, just behind a car or something like that. You want it to look nice. You want to, again, show them that vision, show them what it can look like. A clutter-free background is good. If you have a plain wall with a neutral backdrop, I have a couple of walls in our home that I always take photos of my finished pieces. And if you can find that, where it's easy to take a picture off the wall and maybe move some furniture, and then you've got that background that you can always use. Avoid busy patterns or backgrounds because that's going to distract from the piece that you're trying to showcase. Keep it simple, keep it clean and fresh, but yet still stage it and create the scene with the background and all of that. Lighting is key. This is the biggest one. Do not take photos of your dresser in a dark corner of the garage. On the flip side of that, do not take pictures of your dresser when the sun is blaring and shining right down on it. The best photos are when there's actually an overcast day, when the sun really isn't out, the clouds are out. It just gives the best lighting. So you can take photos outside and create a scene outside with a backdrop and all of that, but just make sure that you're not doing it in the corner of a garage somewhere. And then if you're taking pictures inside, you just want to make sure that that natural light is coming in on a wall or wherever you're taking the picture, and really going to just highlight the piece really, really well. So this next one is going to be, cameras and techniques. I used to, for my website and everything, I had my DSLR camera out all the time. I use my phone now 95% of the time for all of my photos. It's good to use a tripod just because it keeps your camera steady. That's especially important in low light conditions. But if it's a low light, real overcast or really cloudy day, or it's getting to be night, just wait till the next day. If you are using a DSLR, you do not have to. You do not have to have a fancy camera for your furniture flips. I'm telling you that now. You want to set I don't even know if I should go into this just because I mean, just set your aperture to a higher f-stop, like f8 or higher. Keep your entire piece in focus. You can adjust the ISO to keep your image bright without adding too much grain. And then for smartphone, if you've got a smartphone, a lot of the phones, they have those professional modes that allow similar adjustments. So if all you have is a phone, you are great to go. Good to go. You do not need to go buy a fancy camera and take a fancy photography course. I did that, but I was learning my whole website as well. So if you're just doing, taking photos to just, even if you're having a website, the phones nowadays can do a great job. So, okay, next, I just don't ever want to confuse you or make it seem harder than it is, because it is not. It is not. So I just want to make sure that comes across. Take multiple angles. So capture your furniture from various angles just to give them a comprehensive view. And to be honest, so you don't get 900 questions saying, what does the side look like? You know what I mean? Or what does the inside of the drawer look like? So just the front, the sides, the back, a few close-up shots. If there's some detail or unique features, you want to get some close-up shots of that. People want to see the insides of the drawers and things. So just do multiple angles and different shots that you can add to your listing, and just give the customer a really good overall look of what you have available. And then composition rules. So this one's easy. So you want to just follow the basics, right? The rule of thirds, where your image divided into, this is going to get just the rule of thirds. If your image was divided into 9 equal parts, place your key elements along those lines or their intersections, and this just helps create a balanced and visually appealing photo. So again, that sounds hard, but sometimes I will see people will send me in, like inside the academy, they'll say, okay, here's my photo, what do you think? And it'll be like the dresser will be, it might be like just an odd angle, or, the dresser's way to the left and there's a lot of blank space to the right. And so it's really just, you just want to make sure everything is centered. It just makes sense when you look at the photo. So just keep that in mind. You don't want it to be off-centered, or, like a ton of stuff on the left and nothing on the right. You just want it to all be balanced. Editing your photos. So this is where the magic happens, right? So I use an editing software like Adobe Lightroom is what I use. There's Snapseed. There's tons of apps and different editors, that you can use on your phone. But just basic adjustments to like your brightness, the contrast, the sharpness, that alone, like even on your phone camera, like not even in an app, but just on your phone, if you're taking photos, like just those little adjustments can make the biggest difference. But it is nice to edit your photos just to get the best look, and just, if you needed to brighten it a little bit or something, or, make it more straight or something, it's just those little adjustments that'll make the biggest difference. So, and I'm already jumping ahead, crop and straighten. So that's just another thing, if it's not properly aligned, you can crop, any unnecessary background. There's a wall that I use in our porch, and it's so funny because we have 2 vintage like barn lights on this wall up above. And whenever they will be perfectly straight, because they kind of move, they will be perfectly straight on the wall. I will look at it. I've even brought a level out and made sure that they were level and even. But when I take a photo there, for some reason, the angle I'm at, because the room isn't that big, so I have to like climb on the couch to take the photo. But anyway, the angle that I'm at, the lights always look like they're turned outward, if that makes sense. So it's like, okay, that's fine. I'll just edit that out and I'll just crop it down so you can't even see the lights. So, crop and straighten, that's a huge thing. And just remember that you have those options when you go to edit, or if you're taking the photo in a weird, like me, I have to get that in there, but I just know I can crop it out. So that just makes it easier. Highlight the details. So bring out the texture in the wood, the vibrancy of the paint, all of those are just different things that you can do when you're editing your photos, just to make it look that much better. But remember that consistency is key. So you want to maintain a consistent editing style across all your photos, so that when somebody sees your photo, no matter where it is, where you're putting it, on a website, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, they'll look at the photo and be like, yep, I know who that is. Yep, I've bought from her before. And yes, I'm going to go get this one too. You know what I mean? You just want to stay consistent, just so that you have a cohesive look for your furniture flipping business. Okay, is that everything? Yes. Okay. Please, if you found these tips helpful, make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast. Leave a review. That always helps us. Share this podcast. We appreciate you so much for doing that. If you have any other questions about this, let me know. You can email me, lindsay@mycreativedays.com. You can always reach out to me on Instagram @mycreativedays. And I come up with podcast episode topics from your questions or that you send in, either by email or, you just send me a quick message on Instagram. Maybe it's on my website or my YouTube channel. I love hearing from you. So if there's a podcast topic or a question or an idea or a thought, or, you need somebody to help you through something, that I cover, please reach out to me, because it just helps me so much with what to create for the podcast. And I always say, if you have that question, concern, topic, whatever it is, 9 other people have that same thing. So you're just helping other people as well. So keep them coming. I love hearing from you. And until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.